Welcome back! Collectively as a group.
Oh,
to the Flatbush Round Table!
You need to be that loud, bro. I'm tired.
So we got a special guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Carla. Oh, I'm Malik's girlfriend.
Okay, hey, you see him flexing on camera? That's crazy.
I don't know if I was supposed to say something else.
No,
like you can say like hi, like to the channel, like.
Talking about what's that? I have an anger problem. It's under control.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's under control. I can show the back real quick for me. I'm not gonna show my butt.
Ask for days, bro.
Yeah.
Ask for days.
Yeah. All right.
All right, cool. So let's get into it. Wanted to have you heard about the girl suing Uber or the woman suing not Uber, Lyft? Woo.
Yeah, I saw it like briefly on Twitter. I think it's pretty crazy. Like I want to hear both of your thoughts on it.
Well, let's check out the video while we're here together, and then we get into it.
All right.
So you really telling me I'm too busy getting your car?
Deja Blandings recorded it all. Her Lyft driver pulling up only to turn her down.
I was too big and his tires, something about his tires. I asked him, what do I have to do with your tires?
This happened January 18th. The 29-year-old Detroiter was headed to a Lions watch party, only she never got there.
So you telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car?
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What make you think I can't fit in the car?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The driver told her she needed to request an XL car.
Me blood fire. All right. So, thoughts, opinions.
You want to go first?
Let it brew for a little bit.
Let it brew.
Let it brew for a little bit, cause I'm about to share my opinion, and I'm in the presence of men, so I gotta like let my thoughts. Brew
Ooh. We'll
Okay.
take that. All right.
Okay.
What do you think?
Spicy. All right. So.
Are you saying spicy because I'm Hispanic?
No.
Okay.
No. But,
Yo.
We're keeping that in.
yeah. Okay, that's a clip for the channel for the
Right?
Now we,
All right. Anyway.
not as clip farm.
Yeah.
They're not making edits out of this, bro.
That was spicy. That was spicy. That was spicy.
They not making edits out of us.
They're not?
Oh, wow.
Alright, anyways.
I was like, they not. No fun.
Alright. So yeah, I think there's two things to this. There's two sides to this. One, she is on the larger side, so I can see why the Uber driver would be concerned while she's coming into the car. But at the same time, like, it's kind of messed up. Like, she's like, I can see why she would be upset and why she, she's pretty much doing this lawsuit because, he's disrespecting her. He's body shaming her. And he's basically saying she can't come in the car because of her appearance. But I mean, at the same time, it's like his car in the video, it looked pretty small. So
Well, did he openly say? He just said you can't come in the car, and she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, you can't come in the car." I mean, he didn't blatantly say you too big to get in the car.
he said you couldn't fit.
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
did say that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could either way. You could infer, and he did say like what Malik said just now.
Yeah.
I gotta think about it a little bit more.
Well,
I'm not trying to get dragged in the comments.
no.
Well, you're clip on, right?
Well,
I'm not-
let me ask you this, right? Because the Lyft has this thing, Lyft and Uber, but Lyft has this thing where like they have like some anonymity clause or something where if a driver discriminates or refuses a ride, they have normally nothing to do with that, right? It's not like they're employees; they're like technically contractors. So here's my thing. My question: if a driver can refuse a drunk or a toxic person a ride, blah blah blah, wouldn't that technically be the same situation here? Like, hey, this person looks too drunk to get in my car. I don't want them throwing up in my backseat. Get another driver.
But you're equating somebody being under a certain influence over somebody being of a larger size or of a different body type.
What I'm really equating, or what I'm trying to say is, they have the right to refuse service, right? As they're not charging you, right? The reasoning be whatever. I'm just saying they have the right to refuse service. Unfortunately, at least from last I checked, I could be wrong. Please, be sure to fact check me. But I'm just like, hey, if they have the right to refuse service for whatever the reason, is she overreacting or no? Is my question there.
Do you guys think that she has a valid case in the lawsuit? Like, do you think like
you want my personal
has
opinion?
a chance at winning?
I don't think so. Personally, only because like I see she's suing Lyft. She's not suing the driver.
Right.
Right. The driver did something wrong, and Lyft is like, we had no parts in that. We're gonna get rid of him. I'm still gonna sue you for discrimination. It's like, but I had no control. Right. I get what you're saying. So I don't think, at least in terms of suing Lyft, I don't think she has a case. Right. Was she discriminated against? Probably. Right? I think he had a right to refuse her. I'm not saying what he did or was right or wrong, but I do think like suing Lyft is probably not going to solve your problem, seeing as you know what I mean? Like
right.
they have no responsibility over their driver's actions. If a driver punches you in the face, you can't sue Lyft. You can sue the driver. That's how I see it. So I don't think her lawsuit's going to go anywhere personally.
I guess the only like case she really has is like the drivers are representing Lyft and like, you know, I guess background check and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a weird situation where like basically said she couldn't come in because she's like overweight. So I mean, I don't necessarily think she has much of an argument in this case, but like I can see why she's upset and why, you know, she is trying to, you know, make a case.
Yeah, and she could be right. She probably could fit in the car, and again, one of the things you also have to realize is, unfortunately, because they're contractors, if anything goes wrong with the car, Lyft doesn't pay for it. He has to pay for it, right? So he's probably, whatever, realistic or not, he's probably thinking, she gets in my car, it's gonna strain my tires, it's gonna strain my suspension. I mean, I'm not a car person. I'm just throwing shit out, right?
That's the responsibility.
But his mind could have been like, she can't fit. She gonna break my car, right? Is it disheartening? Is it disappointing? Sure. Did he hurt her feelings? Sure. But that's probably what he thought of why he refused her a ride, and for him, it probably felt safer, better than carrying around, I don't know how much she is, but she's clearly a little overweight. So for him, he probably just thought it was a safer thing to do, get an XL, get a bigger vehicle, right? And I'm saying that as a guy who's had friends who, when I had a Nissan Sentra, sometimes it was a bit difficult for them to get inside, right? They could fit in my car, I drove them around, no problem, but, you know, like, some people had an easier time than others, that's all I'm saying. But again, I think I'm doing most of the talking. Thoughts?
What do you think?
Well, again, I can see both of your points on like why she would be upset and like why she would want to go after the company as a whole, because the driver, again, because of the whole anonymity clause, like he can't really do anything, or they can't really do anything with him, so she'd rather just take it up to the company, and then I guess he like look after more, I guess, like alternatives for people who are of a bigger size of what they can do, instead of having to pay for an Uber XL and having to pay a few dollars more, $10 more, than, you know, just because they have to go somewhere and just because they are the size that they are. Which I can see why that would be unfair and why she would want to take that up with Lyft, just to bring more attention to that issue. However, I also see how, you know, the guy with the example that I just gave, Chris, like he's really just looking out for his car. Because again, with companies such as like Lyft and Uber, I mean, the drivers really keep like 80%, I guess, of like their earnings, like around that much.
Yeah.
So again, the car is part of that. Like the company doesn't provide the car, they don't provide the license plate, nothing. So they don't provide the insurance either. That's one thing they definitely don't provide. Yeah. So I can see why he was also looking out for his car. You know, maybe could he have said it in a different way, I guess, that would have probably, I don't know, like avoided this entire mess? Yeah, sure, probably. He would have been like, he could have just been up front, or he could have just been like, oh no, it was an error or whatever. Like he could have made up something on the spot. Like, I don't know, like better customer service skills, I don't know.
I think upfront would have made it worse.
Upfront would have made it worse, but like,
it's like, hey, you too fat, you can't.
Probably would have crashed out.
Probably would have crashed out. But I mean, you know, like customer service skills, like, oh hey, you know, sorry, scheduling error, or
I feel
like
like he was trying his best.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't need my driver to have customer service skills. I need you to pick me up and not talk. But
Yeah.
I'm also a New Yorker. I don't do
prefer
that conversation.
I prefer
stuff.
when my Uber drivers are quiet.
Right? Yeah.
But do you think that it's fair, like that Lyft is fired, like it's pretty much getting rid of the guy because of this situation?
I don't think it's fair, but I do understand. Well, do I think it's fair? No, I don't think it's fair. But they have bad representation, right? Companies do that all the time, so they're gonna be like, "Hey, we can't. This bad publicity, whatever. We can't get that right now. So we're gonna do a public statement, a generic public statement, which is what I think they did.
Yeah, the PR.
And we're gonna get rid of him because the last thing I want is for him to be driving around and somebody ask him, "You that Uber driver that didn't pick up the big girl?" Right? So, or sorry, Lyft driver.
Yeah, I don't really think it's fair either. But I mean, I could see Lyft as a company, they want to keep their PR up and make sure that people are still riding with them over a situation like this. So it makes sense why they're getting rid of him for the sake of their company.
Well, I do think they should keep him.
for the sake of their brand, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should keep them personally because I feel like it's gonna be mixed emotions, right? Like people are gonna be on her side, people are gonna be on his side, right? So I think like, hey, you should weigh the options and probably keep him because I don't think he did anything wrong. Like, and like, no offense, like personally, if I'm getting an Uber, as a guy who can't like, I'm like 6'1", I'm not super tall. As a guy with broad shoulders, I like to get in a little bit in things a bit more spacious, right? I don't take dollar cabs because they be squeezing people in the back and I can't fit there. When I get on a plane, I like to take the aisle seat for a good reason. So, yeah, I can see why he's like, you need to get an XL, but yeah, you have XL money. I don't know. It's complicated, but I'm. If I had to pick a side, I'm gonna say yeah. I think what he did wasn't wrong. It's not like he cussed at her or anything, but that's my opinion. I don't think he was wrong. Could he have been a bit nicer? Sure, we could always be a bit nicer in our interactions, but.
I think what Lyft should do is maybe they should consider like having a feature on the app where you can see your body size or how big of a person you are. So
that's gonna be even more discriminatory.
Yeah. Well, I think it's worth it just because so situations like that don't occur in the future.
Yeah.
So like they know what kind of car to bring you.
I see that, but then also like people could be like, oh, this could go against kind of like not against, but this could be kind of in a way a violation of their DEI clause. Because you're not being, diversity, equity, and inclusion, like, I don't know, and I guess in a way you're kind of exploiting that. And some people could even feel, like, a bit embarrassed that they have to put, like, if they don't know, they have to put their weight and size when they're trying to pick a ride. Because then they're going to be like, oh, so now my driver knows how much I weigh. Especially, let's say, if they're going with a big group of people. And then, like, oh, somebody's like, oh, Malik, why haven't you gotten the Lyft yet? Oh, just checking. Whole time you're putting your whole weight and size and everything.
No, I don't mean in the sense like that they need it, like to do it every time so the driver has to know. I mean like just a setting. So like because you have a certain weight or a certain size, like it can even apply to your height. Like if
I get your
7 foot.
You're basically saying that this person's not average. So because they're not average, we need to highlight that.
Yeah, and like they can all XL Ubers are for them.
I get it. Also. I'm on the fence. I'm going to say no, but I'm a little on the fence. Here's why, right? I get why it would make life easier, right? If you're special, whether that's because you're bigger, special needs, whatever, you need special services, special seating, that potentially should be highlighted because it might make traveling easier, but I'm on the no side because special needs usually cost more. Right? Think about it. If there is a certain specific seats on the bus for plus size people, right? And you're saying, now when I say a bus, I'm not talking about New York City bus. I'm talking about like a bus to like another state, right? It's probably gonna cost more for you to use that space. It's like going on an airplane, right? Big person probably needs 2 seats. You gotta pay the price of 2 seats. But if you highlight that, now people are not gonna feel happy. Right?
Yeah.
People aren't gonna feel. Yeah.
If anything, for that reason, people would have like all the right to sue. Like they would do 2 times more of what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then they're like, oh, so now you want to exploit my weight and you want to charge me more? they could be like, oh, now you're discriminating against people who are bigger or who are of like bigger sizes because of that, and you want to charge them more.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's true. I don't know. It's a hard situation because I'm sure this has happened like off camera to other people as well.
but and here's the thing. I know it's gonna suck to say it, but I feel like you're always gonna be discriminated against when where you are is not the norm,
True.
right? And like okay, it's America. There's a lot of big people in America, but there's not a lot of people as big as her, right? At least from what I've seen. So maybe, again, if because of that, it puts her in a special category, that might make things difficult for her, like getting a regular Uber ride or a Lyft ride in this case. So, yeah, a lot of people tend to put on. Personally, actually, I give you an experience. When I was in Japan, I was supposed to go to a ziplining event, and I couldn't go because they weighed me. And I was actually about 4, I think it's kg they use, 4 kgs overweight.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because of I'm also 6'1". The average person there was like 5'7".
Makes sense.
Right,
Fair,
so
yeah.
I couldn't fit on the horses. They were worried about my weight and my size going on the zip line.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I was just like, oh, okay, that's fun. So I got to lose the belly. I wasn't exactly having trouble walking up the mountain or walking or anything.
Right.
But when I go to anywhere in America for ziplining, I don't have that issue. You
Because
don't even
people,
check your weight.
they're used to people being that big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Right?
I went on a trip like senior year where that happened to a girl in my class, where when we got there, everybody would say, you know, when they like try to zip you up and everything, because it's a zip lining like park.
Yeah.
I think it's called like Boundless Adventures or something. And the whole time she was just walking around, like she had the harness on, but she couldn't get on anything because they made her feel really uncomfortable about the fact that like she was big. She was tall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she was like big or anything. She was a little bit on like the heavier side, but she was tall. She was like what, I think like 5'10".
Okay.
Yeah, she was like 5'10", and then most of us, you know, we're not really like crazy tall.
Yeah.
But
Yes, 5'10" is tall.
you know,
for a
so she
girl.
was just
Yeah.
so she was just walking around, and then like you would just see her. I mean, granted, majority of the employees they were white. I'm being serious. They were all white, and then so a tall black girl, like they were kind of also doing some things that were making her feel like extra uncomfortable to other people too. But no, but again, I see what you mean about like that similar in experience. Like they're not used to seeing it. Well, in other countries they're not used to seeing that, but
Yeah.
it makes you feel uncomfortable when you can't partake in events like that or in
Yeah.
activities like that because of your size and weight.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we're all inclusive. We're trying not to be discriminatory. Ooh, I just tripped all over that word. But at the end of the day, when it comes to like certain physical activities, certain modes of transportation, certain challenges, you know, as inclusive as people want to be, there are unfortunately going to be limitations, right? Sometimes you're too short or too tall for a roller coaster,
Yeah.
right? So it's unfortunate. And don't flame me in the comments, but some people might even say at least those are things you can't control, right? Weight is a whole other conversation I won't get into. But yeah, as we close out, anything else?
Not really. I mean, I think it's an interesting situation. I think Lyft can do something to address it. I mean, it's really up to them, like how they want their brand to be perceived. But I'm curious to see how this lawsuit goes. Like if it goes further.
Honestly, I don't think Lyft is in trouble because half the internet is on her side, and the other half is basically making fun of her.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it's unfortunate, but
It is what it is.
the lawyer's gonna make some money.
Right. Yeah.
Win or lose,
Facts.
he's about to get paid.
He's running in that frame.
Yeah.
I know bro's not smiling on the inside.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, thank you guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell button.
Go to Seriously Soft Stuff and get some pillows.
Link in the bio. And yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, we can talk. See you next week. Peace.